Hey, beautiful people. Hey, how you doing today? Welcome to another episode of Introducing the Podcast. That's right, you have tuned in again to another episode of the podcast where I introduce you to new people, new things, and new ways of thinking. I'm so excited about season two. We are well into season two. I think this is episode 9, I think. Yeah, so I've some great guests so far. It's been a joy to be here every Tuesday, right, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking to you, bringing you new people. We had some authors on, some poets, some coaches, some friends of mine, some people making history. So we have a whole bunch of new things, and I hope that you have learned a whole lot and been introduced to some brand new things this season. And if you haven't, if this is your first time, then make sure that you like and subscribe and share this podcast and then go back and look at all the ones that you missed, okay? Because you definitely missed some good things. And it is at Only Greatness Media at on YouTube. So make sure that you go on over and look at that, check that out. Follow me on uh, YouTube at Only Greatness Media. Okay. I appreciate you so much. And again, I want to always tell you people how much I love you and appreciate you for being here because I'm always showing gratitude and love because that's what we do. Smart Video Girl is here. So today shall not disappoint. All right. As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, as I continue to celebrate my women from Hampton University, I am super duper excited really to bring you today's guest, who is not only a guest but she's a friend. She's like family. She was my college roommate, so we spent a lot of time together. She taught me a lot, for real. And we're going to get into a little bit of that. And I'm super duper excited to introduce to you all Sis Maat. Hey,
Greetings. How are you?
greetings. I'm great. How are you?
Great, wonderful. Excited to be on your show.
Yes, listen, y'all don't even know. I had to bring her on ASAP. I'm wasting no time because we have a lot to talk about today. The topic is holistic living, and our guest is a holistic lifestyle specialist. Okay, so I was like, "What do you want to be called?" And she's like, "I have so many titles," but that basically sums it all up. And if I could just give everybody a summation, in college, uh, we were roommates. It was like, was it senior year or junior year? I don't remember. I think it was
It,
senior year.
it was junior. It had to be
It was
junior.
junior year.
I think. I thought we was on
Okay,
sophomore year. I was on campus sophomore year, I think.
at senior, but it was senior year.
I thought that was our first apartment.
Yeah, senior year.
Oh, that was junior year. See, we was doing it.
Okay, so okay, Junior. Either way, okay, either way. You know what? You're right. It was junior year because senior. Okay, it was junior year
Yes,
because right, we had a very nice apartment.
it was.
I enjoyed our apartment, right?
Yeah,
But
nice and
you,
empty.
yes,
Ours.
it was, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I honestly, if I'm being totally honest, we didn't have much in that apartment at all. Okay, really, nothing really. We had food in the kitchen and we had stuff in our bedrooms, but that was it. Okay, and when I talk about food in the kitchen, right? She told me about vegan eating and cooking. And let me tell you, that was some of the best food I had was when she prepared these vegan dishes. And I was like, yes, oh my gosh. So really, I just wanted to let you know, if you did not know, that you introduced me really into a healthy, holistic lifestyle, especially when it comes to eating vegan. At the time you were, and then you were doing raw at the time too, at one point, girl.
I was focused.
You was focused. You was focused.
I was trying to see what it did. Like, let's explore. Because I'm reading this stuff in books. I'm like, okay, let's see what it do for real.
It was great. It was great. It was really, really good. And if I'm being honest, that's probably the most time that I read, as far as like personally for myself, just reading, because we, like I said, we had a TV. We did have a TV. And we did. It was in the front room. It wasn't in our rooms.
Gotcha.
Because that's how we found out about 9/11. Because we were living together 9/11.
Got you.
That's how I found out about it anyway, because I didn't go to school that day. I missed class that day.
That's cool that day. When it
I
happened,
missed class. You was at class?
I was walking down the hallway. Folks was like, it was an explosion in New York. And no, it was students from New York. They was calling home trying to see what was going on. Like, it was a big thing.
Yeah, I was still at home. I didn't go to class that morning. I think I missed class that morning. I think I was supposed to be in class, but I missed it.
Yes,
But I got to watch it on TV. So that's how I found out about it. We did have a TV, but we didn't watch it often.
not
We
at all.
definitely did watch it often.
It was big.
It was there. It was there. So, but today we're talking about holistic living. So, just real quick, Sis Mara, tell them what you do and kind of in a nutshell what a holistic lifestyle specialist does,
Okay.
or some of the things that you do specifically, since
Yeah.
that's the case.
Well, I was certified by Dr. Laila Africa back in August of 2004 to be a holistic lifestyle coach, counselor. Um, of course, over the years, I've picked up um, sound therapy. I've picked up Reiki. I've picked up vegan food prep. You know, I've picked up making my main focus is I just want our people, highly melanated people, to be well. That's my goal. That's my
Yeah.
ultimate goal. And so I'm really willing to do whatever that takes. Right. That is my goal. I love to see us happy. I love to
Yeah.
see us in love. I love to see us loving ourselves. I love to see us respecting ourselves, you know, treating
Mhm.
us with the utmost respect and dignity, right? Restoring our nobility, so to speak. So, I do a lot of things. You know, I've been an African-centered school teacher.
Mhm. Mhm.
I teach traditional West African dance. Um,
Yes. Mhm.
I when I'm a activist. All right.
I know that's right. She is. And when I met you, you were this person. I would say, probably not. It's been some years now.
Right.
If you pay attention to my intro, you see her in my intro. I don't know if you peeped that. There's a picture of us. It's me and you
Yeah,
at the graduation.
I did.
Um,
Is that us?
yes, yes, that was us. That was us. Um, so it's been some years, but you have always had this spirit. You've always carried this. You you've had your locks for since I've known you.
Yes, honey, and I'm gonna have them. It's either this or bald, like, cause I'm spoiled now. I can't.
I know that's right.
I thought about cutting one down. I was like, oh no, that's gonna be too much work every day.
Listen, it is definitely a process.
It is.
But where did this come from? Where did this passion for wanting to see our community healthy? Did you grow up like that? Where did this passion come from?
Well, I had a grandmother that never lied to me, and she was born in 1922, and she was a storyteller. Okay, so I used to sit at her feet, and she used to just tell me just about her experiences. So I've learned a lot about society, specifically this particular society, um, from her. Just
Mhm.
ins and outs, because she always told me the truth. And then I
Mhm.
had a mother that took us to the health food store when I was younger. I didn't grow up vegetarian or vegan or anything like that, but we did have a green salad with every meal and
Mhm.
fresh juice here and there, and
Okay.
So and then my mother told me a lot about wellness, just certain things. Like if we were sick, we would always have tea. Like if we had a cold, you about to have about 12 cups of tea in that day. Okay?
You're gonna knock this thing out. You're gonna get it before come.
You're gonna be well
Okay.
today though.
Right.
Like 12 cups.
Right. You're gonna be hot and sweaty, but you're gonna get it out. It's gonna come out. Okay. So where did when did you adopt it and take it on as something that it became a passion or a mission for you to be a wellness specialist?
Um okay, so when I was 15,
Mm-hmm.
um I had a cycle, right? Teenager cycle, boom, it was gone. Um, I ate a barbecue beef sandwich, right? And
Mm-hmm.
my cycle came back. And now as a teenager, that's like a horror story, right? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
I knew it was that. I was like, I know it's that beef. So right then and there, I made the decision. I'm not gonna eat no beef no more. I time I said I'm not gonna eat no beef no more. I'm not gonna eat no chicken no more because it made me bleed more. And that was
Yeah.
just my logic then. I'm paying attention to what's going on. And
Right.
that was like
That was enough. That was enough. She was like, "I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good." And
I'm
you,
good. I'm
and
good.
that is really a good example though of listening to your body, right? Your body will tell you what is going on with you. We don't listen to our bodies. We A lot of times we'll go listen to the doctor before we listen to our bodies, right? But our body will tell us what is going on with us. So, that is she had that intuition early.
I was
She
like,
was
oh
like,
no. Because I think I already read in some other, because my mother had like Dick Gregory books and different things like that. And I would pick up certain books because it looked interesting, right? And
right,
I probably read something that made me make that final decision once that did happen, right?
right, right.
I was like, oh yeah, well, I don't need to do that anymore, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. She was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." That's
So,
just like that's called like logic, but it is intuition too. Listening to your body and knowing that he was like, "Wait a minute, and this is not normal. It's just not normal."
I was like, oh no, that was horrific.
No, oh my goodness gracious. So I can totally dig that. So again, today's topic is holistic living. And when we're talking about holistic living, we're really talking about the whole body, okay? We're talking about your mind, we're talking about your body and your spirit, because all of that is encompasses who you are holistically. So we're not just talking about eating well, but we're also talking about thinking well and understanding too what you eat does affect how you think.
Yes.
And people don't understand that. Okay. We can
Yes.
talk about that. Is what you eat really does affect how you think and how you process things.
Most
So,
definitely. Yeah.
do you want to share something about that?
I sure do.
Okay,
Uh,
tell them.
let's just say the more live enzymes you put in your body, because that's what your cells need to survive, to rejuvenate. The more live enzymes you put in the body, the better you're going to think, the better you're going to feel. Okay.
Mhm.
Feel
Mhm.
If you want to know what good health feels like, do the live enzymes. Live enzymes come from your fruits, mostly your fruits, your vegetables, your seeds, okay? Whole grains, your legumes. These are the things that you want to take in. You want to take in food that has water in it. All right. That organic
Mhm.
water, the water that's in fruits, because most fruits are like 90% water. The water that is in fruits, that's your organic water. That's the water that your cells need to
Mhm.
regenerate. Okay, so it's really simple. If you eat the color spectrum, specifically those that are highly melanated, even those that aren't highly melanated, I promise you, because I done seen some white people that do raw foods, raw living, and eat specific, and yes, they're their cells are rejuvenated as well. Okay, so
Right.
whoever is, that's the science. All right. Now, when you take water out of your food, meaning if you eat a whole bunch of cooked food, if you are eating flesh, if you're eating dairy, if you're eating any of those different things that has low water content, your body, because it's made mostly of water, needs water, and it also needs water in digestion. So
Mhm.
you're trying to digest all of that, it's going to take water out of your body. If you're not drinking enough water or eating enough foods with water in it, it's going to take water out of your bones, out of your muscles, out of your teeth, out of your eyes, out of everywhere. And then you're
Mm.
feel as good. Okay? That's what happens. Most most bad health is from dehydration. Okay.
Mm.
So
That's real simple. Like, I like the way you broke that down. I mean, for those who's listening, if you really pay attention, it's real simple. it's I mean, more dehydration really is a big issue. A lot of people don't realize how dehydrated they really are. They tell you to drink all this water,
mhm,
but really, like you said, it's in the foods that you can eat
yes,
that can help keep you hydrated. And
yes,
yeah, fruit does have a lot of water in it. That the juiciness of it. That's it's
yes.
water. Water.
That good water.
And it definitely does. And so when you think about it too, on a level of when you're talking about cellular level,
Mhm.
you're talking about, like, we're living organisms. We're made up of cells, right? So it makes sense that we have to feed. Really, we're feeding ourselves cells, and we
Mhm.
need to be conscious of that. Be and think of, and when we're thinking about eating, and we're thinking about eating healthy. And I have this conversation with my mother. Hey, mom, she's listening. I know she is. Um, she was raised in the South. Southern lady.
Mhm.
She likes her some good pork chops and all her. She likes it.
Right.
But I also too try to explain that we have to start to, because it leads to so many different health things, and it definitely leads to how we feel. And so we have to understand it really is all connected in how we feel. You can feel weighed down physically, and that feeling of feeling weighed down can also show up in your mental.
Most
Under Definitely, right.
yes.
Because what's going on inside of you usually reflects out. So
Mhm.
you have to be mindful. Like, I'm real. That's why I'm really excited about this, because I talk about, like, quote unquote mental health, but more so within the thinking of how we think, and why we think some of the things that we do. And it really does play into what we eat and what we're putting into our bodies, and how our brain is responding to the food that we're eating. Like, it's literally reacting. So if your brain is trying to react to the things that you're putting in its body because it's trying to protect it per se,
Mhm.
then you're in defense mode. You're in all these different types of modes all the time. So when
Yeah.
we're eating healthy, when we're eating live foods, then we are actively living mentally as well. Our brains are shooting off healthy
Yeah.
neutrons and things of that sort.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So y'all, I hope y'all taking notes. I always tell y'all, if I didn't tell y'all today, make sure you got your notepads, okay, so you can take some notes, because we're gonna be dropping some very good information on here today. Okay. So you mentioned Reiki. What is so this other thing I just want to say, that we're energy. So we're cells and energy.
Mhm.
All right. So, and that's where I'm going with the Reiki. So, as an energy healer or
Mhm.
someone who practices Reiki, can you tell my listeners a little bit about what Reiki is, first of all?
I mean, it's just exactly what you just said, utilizing energy, utilizing your life force to heal one another, to heal each other, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
we do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You might see it in church where folks lay on hands, but it's really healing, utilizing your life force energy with intention, right? To assist the next person wherever they may have an energy blockage. And you can see, you can feel where energy blockages are just from the palms of your hand. You can feel energy blockage because you have A lot of your energy is emitted from the palms of your hands, right? Our hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
Mm-hmm.
it is. So you can feel where there are blockages, specifically over certain energy, major energy centers, the major chakras in the body, or just wherever. Like you can really feel it. Like if your hands expand naturally and you feel the energy coming from the other person and it's expansive and your hands are expanding out, that means that's pretty clear. Yet if it's not, you might have a little bit of blockages there. So it's just a matter of
Wow.
being in tune with your own life force, but
Wow.
be in tune with another,
So yeah, so I knew a little bit about what Reiki is, but what you said just kind of made me have a whole nother just like woo, because when we talk, my sister said, "Hey." um Laying of hands. I know people have seen this done, and and I've never thought about Reiki being similar to that. And I only want to say this, I only want to bring this up because so many times there is this notion that um using energy goes against certain religion and spiritual things of that sort, right?
Mhm,
But what you just said really is the same thing. So we have to understand, and not holistic living. We want to break. I want to really break these things down. So
mhm,
when we're living holistically, we're talking about the whole mind, body, and spirit. You're talking about the the Trinity,
mhm,
if you would say. Um, and that the energy of the body and the spirit, that's kind of like feeling the energy of our being. So and understand this, our solid bodies as they show up, really, again, I'm going to go back, is just a whole bunch of molecules and
mhm.
atoms and particles that have
Yeah.
formed together. So when we understand that, right, we can understand how it's like, if you cut yourself, you will heal. It's because of the cells that are alive in our body. So we are literally a living, breathing organism that has living cells in it. So we have to, again, be mindful of what we're eating, understanding that we do radiate energy, okay, and
Mhm,
that we can feel each other's energy. So that's why you can feel someone when you can feel the energy of someone, okay, you can feel when somebody walks into a room and they have bad energy, and vice versa. You can tell when somebody brings the sunshine and when somebody brings the rain.
yeah.
So we have to, I really want us to understand, and I'm introducing this concept to people because I want them to think outside and around and out the box. Okay, look at the box holistically. All right, holistically. All
Exactly.
right,
Mhm.
yes. So then you also talk about sound therapy. So again, again, that's very important about what you listen to and who you listen to.
Yes.
So yes, yes, yes. Okay. Who and what you listen to. So, sound therapy, tell them a little bit about what sound therapy is, and then I'll talk about what I want
Oh,
to say.
sound therapy. Well, each your body has a particular frequency, like the sound of your voice, it has a particular frequency. Like you can feed your voice into a sound quote unquote monitor, and it can actually tell you, like it's technology out there where it can actually tell you what is
Wow.
misaligned, right? But everything has a particular frequency. Everything vibrates at a particular frequency, and so you can raise vibration, you can change mood, you can do all of those different things with just sound frequency. A lot of times, this is something that is used against us,
Mhm.
in society, with different music at particular hertz. That's more detrimental per se, or keeps us at a particular frequency or low vibration, right?
Mhm.
Um, People use it in music, all of that. It's different frequencies are related to colors. So when you see certain colors, that's a particular frequency that you're feeling. right?
Mm.
Resonate on particular frequencies. Like it's
Mm.
very, 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 very interesting. Your chakras resonate at different frequencies. So we utilize sound to kind of balance out the body
Okay.
where
Mm-hmm.
there are blockages. You know what I'm saying? This is where you can kind of utilize um, Reiki and sound therapy interchangeably. You can use your Reiki to see where there are blockages, and you can play particular notations on sound bowls, Tibetan sound bowls, musical instruments, your voice, whatever
Mm.
whatever it is, on that particular whatever modality you want to use to create the sound that resonates with a particular energy center, right? So
Oh.
yes, yes, indeed.
Y'all, I'm taking notes. Y'all, I'm learning. I'm learning. See, I love it.
Yes.
But yes. So again,
Hmm.
understanding like this whole person. So this is why it's called holistic living again, guys, because we really want to understand who we are as human beings. Okay, human beings in our bodies.
Yes.
That these bodies are not full solid formations as though they appear to be, and that we are energy. I say this all the time. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So when we understand that, then we can live holistically because we can live to what is going to be best for our bodies. Okay. And so again, we started off talking about what to eat, like live things, and making sure we're our water, we're hydrated and using natural organic waters and through our fruits and our vegetables, not so much of eating cooked stuff because it dehydrates the food, and it takes away from the water content of it, right? And water, we know that water, our bodies, like you said, is mostly water. How much? 80 some percent
Well,
water.
it's really supposed to be like 90, but because we are a dehydrated society, they say like 70 now in books.
Oh, what? Oh my gosh.
It's decreasing.
I'm about to say it's decreasing because even I know it was at least 80 some percent.
it,
So
it went down.
see, that's a problem. That's a problem. And see, they're making it normal. And that's the issue. So that's what we have to understand. We're really like bringing this stuff to your attention because we want you to understand that the normalcy of the decrease of how to take care of your body is not normal. Like we need to be intentional
Mhm.
about understanding how to take care of this organism that we embody as a spirit. Okay, so holistically, it is our responsibility to take care of our bodies,
Yes.
to make sure that we are thinking in certain ways, that so energy is flowing through us in a certain way, that we're eating things that are going to help us to continue to grow healthy and strong. So we have to be mindful of this. So holistic living is just not showing up every day, going to work and doing all these things. Like it is bigger than that. Like the responsibility of holistic living is just not what you eat. And it's not just going to eat organically. Okay. It
Right.
really is taking care of the whole body and understanding what the body is made up of so that you can live your best life. Because you really can live your best life if you start to live holistically. Like for real, for real.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we can solve all of societal problems if we start to live our best life and live holy.
Holistically.
Because, like
Yes.
Crystal said, look, there is literally you can think your way into wellness, right? Like we talk about the body's cellular structure, the
Mm-hmm.
molecular structure, and that depends on energy, that depends on live enzymes, it depends on the correct charge. If you have
Mm-hmm.
the correct charge in terms of what you're putting in your body, who's talking to you, the music that you're listening to, everything of the things that you see are beautiful to you, right? That give you energy. Your
Yes.
that gives you energy. Um, you are making sure that you're being your whole authentic self meaning you're not putting pieces and parts of you on the shelf, right?
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Not saying, oh, next year when your whole self is here now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Present in
Yes,
in
e-
attendance.
exactly. Because you, when you create deprivation, any type of deprivation that your whole being needs, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
whether it's thought, whether it's love, whether it's anything like that, you, something else is going to be deficient.
Yep.
You, when you create deficiency,
Yeah.
yeah. So and imbalance. So
Yeah.
want to pay close attention to what the way that you're thinking, because a lot of times our thoughts weigh us down. So you can eat clean, you can do all of these different things, but if you are a negative person and you're not optimistic and you don't think and speak life into over yourself and love yourself, because remember,
Hello.
you are a piece of nature, a piece of vital piece of nature.
Mm-hmm.
It, society cannot be what it is if we do not show up what it needs to be. If we don't show up whole, it's just not going to,
Woo!
it's not going to happen. We're always going to see problems. See, because
I
people,
tell you all the time.
we're looking at chemical reactions, people eating all types of stuff, things
Mm-hmm.
or labels you can't read. None of nothing. There is no food identifiable on the label. This is what people are taking in, and what do we expect from people that take in crap? I mean,
Listen, crap. I say this all the time, and y'all know I've been on this thing, and smart video girl. I'm all about showing up authentically, and again, that's part of holistic living. If you are your original self, you are showing up as your authentic, pure self,
right.
um, and to grow and to contribute. And so, like Sister Mott was saying, if we're not showing up as our authentic selves, then we're not able to contribute in the way that it is that we are supposed to contribute to the world. And I said this before, and a lot of that goes into our thinking, and that a lot of that, especially for us melanated people, okay, a lot of it goes into how we are showing up. And I mentioned this before, and this is something that is part of holistic living that we have to understand is how we deal with trauma. And
Mm-hmm,
so, because trauma is something that actually lives in us.
mm-hmm,
And so, we have to learn how to identify trauma. And then that goes into how we're speaking to ourselves. I'm not talking about how we're speaking to ourselves, how we hold on to the things that have happened to us. Are we living in a place where we are victims? Or are we moving to a higher level of consciousness where we understand who we really are? So if you can, there's things to keep you in this, you know, victim mode, the things that happen to you. Okay. And so I say this all the time. If you're in this place where things are happening to you, um, somebody didn't get the memo that my show was on. Okay. They didn't get the memo. If you are in a space like where the food you're eating, the
mm-hmm,
things going back to the sound therapy, going back to what we're putting in our bodies. If we're in a space where the things that we're intaking are keeping us mentally in a space where we feel as victims, where we're not able to think on a higher level, then we're not going to get to the place where we understand the things that we're talking about today, the things that of us being of a higher being, you not just being this body who is subjective to the environment. You
right.
you more so have the authority to
Yes,
move, and it all you have the responsibility. Like that's
right.
it.
Yes.
It's just so much. And so holistic living, y'all, it really is. I'm that's why I'm super excited because I can have this conversation, this a very highly intelligent conversation with you because and share it with everybody because I think it's very important for us to understand that holistic living a lot of time is spoken in a very boxy way still about what we eat, and exercise is very important. I do want to talk about that in a second,
Mm-hmm,
because exercise is as important too. We got to start moving, we got
yeah,
we got to move, right? But real quick, y'all know I want to take a little intermission and
mm-hmm,
tell you guys about some things that I have going on. some things I have coming up. Speaking about moving, right? I
Mhm.
have a speaking engagement. It's called the Yoga Wind Down Just Breathe Workshop, April 30th from 1 to 3. I will be speaking as your authenticity coach, as well as my girlfriend, Career Jim. She'll be talking, she'll be a goal strategist. So make sure that you come on out. That's going to be in Lanham on April 30th. So you can scan the QR code there if you want to join that for a little yoga and a little motivation as well. Also, April 13th through the 15th, I will be participating in the Passion, Purpose, and Peace Summit. And I'll be talking to you about the work is you, my journey to authenticity. Okay, guys? So I'm talking about how I can get to this part where I'm living holistically. Okay. All right. Getting to the place where I am showing up as my authentic self and hope to empower you all to do the same thing, to think and to live your best lives. Okay. And also, don't forget every fourth Thursday of the month, I do a workshop called The Work Is You Thursday. And this month, we're going to be looking at our butts. Okay. So we're going to be looking at our butts. How are you using the word but in your conversation? How are you speaking to yourself? Are you saying, oh, I would love to eat healthy, but I don't got no money? Or are you saying, I would love to eat healthy, um I may not have the resources, but I can, there's some other alternatives. So how are you using but in your life? So you're going to pay attention, we're going to be mindful of how you are using your butt. I thought that that was cute. My mom thinks that that's cute. And just to FYI, this is my calendar coming up this Saturday. Actually, I will be doing a social justice Bible study with talking about the dreams of a vision, which is the relationship between generations in our culture, in the Black community, which is a documentary that I'm working on. Again, the 23rd, I will be talking about taking a look at your butt. And then my birthday, my B Earth Day, is April 22nd, and it is the official launch of my apparel company. So I appreciate you guys. I hope that you can join me. I will be sending out invitations really soon. So hopefully some of y'all can come to my party. I'm really excited. And guess what? I just found out Sister Ma is going to be in town. So
Yes.
yay! That's going to be fun. I'm excited about that. So
Yes.
if you want to follow and learn more about her, you can follow her on IG. It's scrolling down at the bottom. Make sure you check it out. Check her out. Make sure you go follow, like, share, you know, and find out what's going on with her. So we're talking about exercise. We're talking about holistic living. We're talking about um, showing up authentically, right?
Mhm.
So what are you mentioned you do African dance.
Yes.
You
Mhm.
taught African dance.
Yes.
Um that is a very good workout. Okay.
Mm.
That is a workout. For anybody who has not done that, that is a workout. It's a whole full body cardio workout.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
How did you get into doing African dance, teaching African dance?
Well, when I was in Virginia, going to Hampton, I went
Yeah.
to a street festival, African street festival in Norfolk, Virginia, and
Hmm.
the African dance company there. And I saw it immediately. I was like, okay, yeah, I got to do that. Like even when I was in high school, and I lived I'm from Peoria, Illinois, so it wasn't no African dance happening. But I was always volunteering during Black History Month to do the African dance part, right?
Yes.
So in my head then one day, right?
Yes. It was there. It was in you.
Right. I took ballet when I was in high school, but I really wasn't, that wasn't really my cup of tea of dancing. I knew I wanted to dance, but it really wasn't my cup of tea. So when I saw that in the park, I went straight up to the director and said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming." And then I've been dancing ever since.
Wow. Well, that's been a long time. Like I said, it's been a long time. It's so funny because I have this, I think it was like 10th grade, 10th or 11th grade. We had a Sankofa Black History program at school, and I did the African dance thing. And afterwards, I think I passed out backstage because I was so. It was literally took everything out of me. But it's so invigorating. Like in that moment, you can, and it really does encompass a lot of great physical activity. Like jumping is a great way to kind of like shake up your cells and stuff like that. Like there are a lot of things that African dance incorporates that are very good for your physical body. Um, it's definitely cardio.
Really,
Definitely.
like African dance is really church. Okay.
It's great for the spirit. Hello.
Yes, each dance is like its own language. Um,
Mm,
we as indigenous African people, we celebrate, we give thanks and praise for all aspects of life, from birth to death and everything in between. Rites of
yeah.
passages, marriages, all of that, right? So,
Mm,
harvest time, war, we are, that's a prayer. Every single
right.
dance is a prayer. So you are giving honor to the Most High. You're giving honor to your ancestors. You are within African dance. You are every aspect of training that you think
Mm,
you want to do an exercise. You're going to get it there. You're going to improve your flexibility. You're going to improve your endurance. You're going to improve strength. You're going to improve your coordination,
mhm.
because it most definitely works on body coordination. You might,
Right.
if you highly melanated, and if you never did African dance before, you go into that class, it's okay. Keep coming. You like, hold on, I thought I could dance. Hold on.
You was like, wait a minute, hold on, wait, okay. Yes, look. I feel my arm getting limber now trying to do that. See, it's all about that. And I forgot to mention, and I'm going to share this real quick, that my friend Frank Hardy,
Mhm.
okay, has a. This is the perfect time to talk about it. A book called The Dancer out, and it's great. It talks about a slave who used her gifts and talents as a dancer to liberate her people. So it's a very interesting story. Her dance literally hypnotized the
Oh,
yeah
I,
hypnotized
I,
the slave owners. So it was a very interesting story. It has a great twist to it. So make sure that you go over to Amazon and check him out. He's a great, and he did the artwork on the cover too. He's an artist as well.
oh, that's awesome.
Yes, yes, yes. So since we talk about dance, So what are some other great ways to exercise that you could think that you may recommend to people?
I need, like, I love yoga. I love
Mm.
yoga. I really like hot yoga, but
Oh,
I you know I when I have gone, they move too fast. Like I be liking to be in the stretch for a little while because I utilize that for meditation, and I'm really trying to work to open up them energy centers, in my
right.
body. That quick transition is a little annoying for me, so I practice at home. Yoga is good. Anything that is you enjoy in terms of
Mm.
moving, walking,
Yeah, yeah.
going outside, making sure you be active outside, ride your bike. You know, I mean, I see a lot of folks working out on a regular basis, which is a wonderful thing because your body needs activity. Your body needs activity for the electricity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Want to get some cardio in because you want the electricity. Okay, your body
Right.
needs electricity. So y'all remember that because a lot of folks that lift weights don't necessarily like that cardio, but that cardio
It's
alone
important.
is important. You know what I'm saying?
Keep that heart going.
Yes, the heart pumping and the oxygen flow all over your body. It's just vital. So
Yeah. Yeah, walking is great. And make sure you get out in nature. Like holistic living
yes,
definitely means going outside. No. It definitely means interacting with nature. Okay? Definitely incorporates interacting with nature. And
yes,
I want to add one little piece to this holistic living. And this may be something, this is for my mental health as well. Journaling. So I don't know how you feel about writing, but just writing in general, like the practice of putting pen to paper
Yes.
is a great exercise that I think everybody should incorporate, especially now, like everything is electronic. Everybody's typing, everybody's texting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, their notes. They text notes and they text grocery lists and everything. But really, putting pen to paper is a great way of making a solid connection between and getting those thoughts flowing through your head. Because one thing you guys know, we have so many thoughts literally that pass through our body, you know, that pass through us, because thoughts are energy just like we're energy, and it's all flowing, right? So something doesn't become a reality until you grab hold of it and then you give life to it. That is a so if you have something that comes into your head as a thought and you want to bring that to life for yourself, if you really want to and even if it's something that causes you trauma, right? Getting it, pinpointing it, isolating it,
Mm-hmm.
and then reclaiming it, telling it, okay, this is not
Right.
this is not for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because as long as it's in here, as long as it is in your head, it will continue to manifest itself, and it will play out in again in the other organisms of your body. So
Mm-hmm.
we have things like stress and we have things like depression that show up as other ailments in
Mm-hmm.
our body, as diseases in our body that we now try to remedy with medicine and things of that sort. So we really have to understand the whole holistic living
Mm-hmm.
starts in your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
how you can, again, like Sister Maya said, you can think yourself into wellness. You can think yourself into a healthy lifestyle. It's all about what you do. And I would suggest adding, and I would encourage you to add writing into that so that you can start to be mindful of what you're really thinking, and not just be on a hamster wheel of just thinking anything, because that's
Right.
very important.
Very,
Very
very.
important.
Yes. It's like you're programming yourself. You're reprogramming yourself. You know, like.
She said it, not me. She said it, not me. And
Yes.
I love that,
Mm-hmm.
because this is the thing I'm learning. Um, we're programmable, period. If we were not, if we were not programmable, we would not be, again, under the spell, under the influence of all of these things. So the question is, how do you choose to program yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So when you take responsibility of reprogramming yourself, that is definitely it definitely starts here, because your brain literally is the computer, is the CPU of this
Right.
body here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to run through here. All the thoughts, like I said, the thought has to run through here, and you have to literally process in order for it to become a reality for you.
Right. Yes.
So we have to start to reprogram ourselves to start to live holistically. And look, so because we can see this, I'm telling you, the time goes by so fast, because now, um, you know, you homeschool, you have homeschool children, and I homeschool as well. And this is also part of the programming, and this is also part of holistic living, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we are raising our children in this manner where they're not subjected to a style of education that literally was meant for post depression, post, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like this style of education now is not suitable for where we are today. You know,
Right.
we have to be able to teach our kids to think in a way that they are able to program themselves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And as parents, we are giving them healthy options
Mm-hmm.
and healthy ways of thinking so that they don't become programmed.
Exactly.
So real quick, talk about homeschooling. What has your experience been with homeschooling in with your children?
Well, I would say for the majority of my adult, my oldest son's schooling, except for 3 years. He was homeschooled. And the majority of my youngest son, except for a year and a half, he's
Mm.
schooled. I recently founded a Black African centered school that's private close to me that I
Mm.
in a world with
Yes.
the youngest one. My other one, he's already out of school, right? I'm
Yes.
girl, but that was the same school I was going through that was keeping my children's grades for me. So I was like, oh, she was like, well, you can bring them on campus. So we're trying that out right now.
Yay.
We'll say this, like I said, we're trying that out right now, right?
Right, right, right.
We'll,
Trying it. Right.
I will say this. My children have a totally different mindset in terms of they're really, really, really confident in who they are, right? I've always centered their education because education is to bring forth that which is already there. I have paid extremely close attention to my children and try and nurture every aspect of themselves that they show me, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So by 18, um, my child already is has mastered that, right? Um, and pretty much already knows what he's about to do, what he's doing, he's not trying to figure it out. He
But
already crystal clear. And that's the goal. You want your children to be crystal clear in terms of who they are, what they are, why they're here, where they're going, right?
wow, yeah.
A good strong foundation, um, so that they can fulfill their mission and purpose on the planet. Because remember, a part of our healing also is to heal our families, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
heal, bring back in order our families, right?
Yeah.
It's vital for our children to have that strong foundation. As we come in to know, they need to know.
Amen. Yes, I love that.
Speak truth. You need to, when your children ask you questions, tell them the truth. Do not tell them because I said so. Tell them why you say so. Right?
Mm.
These are teachable moments. You learn that your children learn how to analyze situations, right? If you tell them why. Okay. They're not just going to take, because that's a way that we program our children as well. Um, that's kind of a slave mentality too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right, because I said so.
of just going along with the flow just because somebody said so, right? Versus
Right.
not expecting or requiring a reason why. Like you need to know why you do what you do. Everybody needs to know why they do what they do. Okay.
Yeah.
And as parents, it's important for us to tell our children why we're doing what we're doing so they can
Mm.
understand. And then you might learn something too while you're explaining why you're doing what you're doing, because what we're doing may not make much sense after we explain why.
Listen, you just said a whole word, and you better understand it. Like that is definitely true. And again, holistic. We've been focusing on ourselves, but you brought up a really good point of holistic, meaning our families as well, making sure that our families are growing up, growing holistically. And it's definitely, I think it's so important because that's part of what I'm working on with my documentary, is this chain reaction, especially in the Black community, of how there has almost been um, how basically desegregation has caused a great separation in who we are as a people and what we instill and how we operate as a family and what we do as a people. And part of that is how we raise our kids. And so I think it's so important. Like homeschooling is very important to me, much like you. I'm able to see my child, I'm able to pay attention to my child and to my children and see what are their gifts, what are their natural talents, what are they naturally inclined to, and then I can feed that, I can nurture those things, and then because I was always a child that asked why. And if the answer is because I said so, or oh, I don't know, then that kind of leads you just to kind of try to figure things out. So I wish I was like, I wish I was like your son, and at 18, not going to Hampton just to go because I didn't know what else to do, but really knowing what I wanted to do. Now I'm glad I went because I met you.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason. But when I went, honestly, I tell people all the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that at that point I was supposed to go to college, but I
Right.
didn't know
Hmm.
because it was not. I was just following what society had said was the next thing to do.
The program.
The program, I was on the program and I was good at the program.
Yeah.
So, but so it's very important that we work on regenerating
Hmm.
the culture, regenerating our families in a healthy way, and reprogramming our families in a healthy way. And I think a key component to that, in addition to what we're eating and what we're thinking, is definitely how we're raising our kids.
Yes.
Definitely how we're raising our kids. That definitely goes into holistic living. Okay. All of it is holistic living. And
All
I
the
spell all of it, all of it. And I
all.
spell holistic with the W on
Yes.
purpose because I
Yes.
wanted us to be
Oh.
whole. Okay. I didn't just do the H, I did the whole thing. All right. All
Yes.
right. So listen, we are coming to the end of the show. It's been a great one.
Yes.
Um, it has been an awesome one. But if you want to follow Sister Ma'at, her IG is scrolling down there at the bottom. Make sure that you go and follow her. Let her know that I sent you her way, that you found her on introducing, and you want to know more about what she's doing. She's doing a lot of great things. She's a very influential woman. Okay, she is, and I want you just real quick before we wrap up, if there any last words, anything that you want to leave the people with before we close out this wonderful, great show that we have had today.
Yes, I just want to say that we are the ones that are responsible for rebuilding our bloodlines. We are the ones that are responsible for rejuvenating ourselves and our families and ordering our steps, right? Being very specific, getting to know ourselves. If you don't know yourself, sit with self by yourself, okay? Ask yourself questions, all right? Speak your heart, ask questions, hear the answer. All right. You're going to hear the answer.
That sound like that
Oh,
sound like that sound like do the work, keep the faith. That sound like
keep
that sound like it to me. Okay,
yes.
so as always, you guys, I am a creative and influential visionary who shows up authentically in all ways and
Mhm.
empowers others to think and live their best lives. You have tuned into Introducing the Podcast, where I introduce you to new people, new things, and new ways of thinking. I hope today you learned something brand new. I hope it left you with the thought of how can I now be responsible for living holistically? How can I now carry the responsibility of reprogramming our communities? Okay, this is
Yeah.
very important. Very important. Very, very important. Okay, holistic living. Right here, introducing. I'm your girl, Smart Video Girl. Thank you again, Sis Ma'at. I appreciate you for being here.
Love you to life.
And yes, y'all, y'all. I'm just so excited. I don't want it to end. But until next week, I will see you. Happy Women History Month
Yeah.
and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.